Well, I'm pretty much a skin sack full of despair right now. Life feels like a meaningless series of jokes and disasters at my expense. But the Yankees haven't won it all yet. They've tied it up. It's 2-2 going back to Cleveland, and I guess this is why Tito set his rotation up the way he did. We get Kluber on full rest, going against the Yankees in an elimination game. So, you have to feel good about that. You have to feel good that we should have our bullpen ready. But you have to feel pretty awful about everything else. The defense is bottomed out. It feels like we might have gotten a little bit cute. Gio Urshela has been a spectacular third baseman all year. You couldn't predict that he was going to play like this and have a couple of huge misplays. You can't predict that a guy who's been that good, who has that pedigree of being that good, is suddenly going to fall apart. But I think you can question how cute the team got with deciding that Kipnis in center field, Urshela at third base, and J-Ram at second base was the best setup. I think if you had Kipnis at second, Jose Ramirez at third, and Austin Jackson in center field, you're probably better offensively and defensively. So I don't really understand the logic behind that one, and I'm a huge proponent of playing Jose Ramirez at second base, but if the option is doing that with Kipnis in center field, I don't really understand why that makes. I don't understand why Kipnis has to play center field anyway. I would think that you could hide him in left field or something like that. I don't understand why it had to be such an extreme to put him in center field. But I don't really understand any argument where the team is better going Ramirez second base, Kipnis center, and Gio at third than Kipnis at second, J-Ram at third, and like I said, Austin Jackson in center field. I don't understand any argument for that. So it feels like the team has gotten cute, Kipnis hitting second. It feels like they're getting cute. It feels like they're, doing what feels good instead of what seems smart. Brantley being rostered at all is somewhat of a cutesy decision. Yeah, just came back from injury, had no time to get back up. Who knows how effective he could be even if he did ramp up all the way. And he's been awful. I know he had a hit or two tonight, but he's been awful. And you could use a guy like Yandy Diaz right now. And instead, you've got a roster full of guys like Chisenhall and Brantley and Kipnis who are working their way back from injury and who are forced to play major roles. And you've got guys like Gio Urshela and Eric Gonzalez who are supposed to be here only for their defense and who have both made some pretty horrible defensive plays. And I think that's kind of a risk you run into rostering young guys who are one-dimensional, because if that one dimension doesn't play up perfectly, it's a disaster, and this has been a disaster. So I think the team got cute. I'm still not sold on the idea of pitching Bauer first. I think if you went Kluber, Carrasco, Bauer, you could come back with Kluber and Carrasco on short rest and feel a lot better about yourself and put yourself in a better chance to win. I know people say Kluber doesn't like to go on short rest, but we saw him do it last year, and it was great. And if he doesn't like to go on short rest, and Bauer does like to go on short rest, but this is the performance you get from Bauer, and last year is what you get from Kluber, then I don't care what they like. And, I touched on this in Twitter earlier this week, but Tito made some huge show about, Brantley's hitting seventh, but he's not a seven hitter. He's a middle of the order guy normally, but you're working him back in. Why do we need to stroke the egos of these guys? Why does Kipnis have to hit second? Why do we have to talk Brantley up as some great hitter? Why do we have to pander to what Kluber wants to do on rest and give in to what Bauer wants to do on rest? Let's just make smart decisions. Let's pitch our best pitchers first. Let's hit our best hitters first. Let's just win. And it feels like this entire series was set up where we had kind of already won it in our minds, and we're going through the motions and trying to just make some decisions that felt good at the time. And Tito's a genius, and 99% of the time it seems like these kind of decisions that don't make sense by the numbers, but make sense to him, work out in his favor. And this is a time where it didn't. And I'm not trying to pretend like he's bad or that I don't like Tito. I mean, he's incredible. He's the best we could possibly have. but I also think it's very fair to question him in this situation. And I also kind of reject the feedback that people give you when you do question him. It reminds me of the feedback you get when you question Kyrie Irving. Yeah, these guys have delivered some amazing moments for us, but I don't think we should settle for those one moments. We consider Pittsburgh and Boston our biggest rivals, and those guys, you could hide 5 of their championship flags and they wouldn't even notice. We have 1. I don't think if we want to call ourselves, this great sports town and we want to consider them our rivals, I don't think we get to point to our one banner and go home. I think we need to demand that these guys try to win more. And you can appreciate what they've done while still questioning what they're doing moving forward and still wanting to win more. And I want to win more. And so I love Tito. I love what he's done. I don't want him to go anywhere. I think he's the best we could possibly have, but I want him to be better. And I don't think that's a problem. And I reject the idea that I can't say that and that I have to just trust in Tito and shut up. So a lot of frustration. Kluber's going to come out and pitch a gem. J-Ram's going to hit 4 home runs, and we're going to win 11-0 on Wednesday. And none of this is going to matter. But for right now, I'm going to sit in a dark room and listen to sad music, and I'm going to cry a little bit. I'll be honest. Don't judge me. We're all friends here. This is a safe zone. So we'll see you next time. Hopefully with better results. Hopefully I'm smiling. Hopefully I'm pumping my fist, and Twitter's making funny gifs about me. But tonight, not so much. Tonight is misery and sadness. So hopefully not for long. See you next time.